Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive today. We're tackling a topic that I think is super important to all of us, and that's boosting kids' intelligence. But
Uh,
we're going way beyond just like grades and test scores. We're really looking at how to help kids' minds thrive, really blossom. We've got 10 methods to explore today, all based on this really interesting text we found. It dives into how a child's physical health, their hormones, even their emotions play a role in shaping how their brains develop.
yeah. It's not just about hitting the books. It's about looking at the whole picture, understanding how all these different pieces fit together.
It's like that whole child approach, right?
Exactly.
Hmm.
We'll be talking about those three aspects you mentioned, the physical, the hormonal, and the psychological, as we go through each method.
Sounds good to me. So let's jump right in with method number one, physical exercise for brain health. I mean, we all know exercise is good for us, right?
Yeah.
But I was honestly blown away by how this source connects physical activity to actual brain power in kids.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. It's not just about getting the blood pumping, though that's definitely a big part of it. When kids are active, their blood flow increases. And that means more oxygen and nutrients are delivered to the brain, which is obviously crucial for those brain cells to function at their best.
Oh, so it's like giving their brains the fuel they need to grow and develop.
Exactly. And that's where this cool thing called BDNF comes in. Have you heard of it?
I have seen it mentioned in the text, but I'd love to hear more about it.
Yeah, so BDNF stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's basically like fertilizer for the brain. It helps those neurons grow strong and make connections, which, as you can imagine, is essential for learning and memory.
Oh, wow.
And you know what helps boost BDNF?
Let me guess. Exercise.
You got it.
Okay, so we've got the brain fueled up and ready to go. But I feel like there's more to this story, right? What about a child's mood and focus? How does exercise affect those?
Well, think about how you feel after a good workout.
Hmm.
You're energized, your mood is lifted. You can probably focus better too, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, kids experience the same benefits. Exercise helps regulate cortisol. That's the stress hormone. And when those stress levels are in check, kids are much more likely to be engaged and ready to learn.
Makes perfect sense. A calm and happy kid is definitely going to be more receptive to learning than one who's feeling stressed and overwhelmed. So we've got physical exercise checked off our list. Up next is something we can all relate to, food. Method number two is balanced nutrition and hydration.
Yes, the fuel that keeps those little brains going. There's that old saying, you are what you eat.
Yeah.
And that's especially true when it comes to brain development in children.
Right, it's not just about filling their tummies, it's about giving them the building blocks for healthy brain cells. This text specifically mentioned omega-3 fatty acids as being really important.
Absolutely. Omega-3s are like the VIPs of brain-building nutrients. They're essential for the structure and function of neurons, and they play a role in everything, from memory and learning to mood regulation.
Okay, so imagine this. It's Monday morning, and you've got two kids getting ready for school. One had a big bowl of sugary cereal for breakfast, and the other had a balanced meal with whole grains, protein, and some fruit. Which one do you think is going to be more focused and ready to learn in class?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Balanced nutrition is key for steady energy levels and focus. When kids eat a healthy breakfast, their blood sugar stays stable. It prevents those sugar highs and crashes that can really mess with their concentration.
Okay, next up is a method that speaks to my creative side, creative play and art therapy. I was surprised to see this one included at first, but then I started thinking about how much joy and satisfaction I get from creating things. Could those feelings actually be connected to brain power?
Absolutely. This method is all about tapping into the right hemisphere of the brain,
Hmm.
which is often associated with creativity, intuition, and problem solving.
Really?
Yeah, when kids engage in activities like painting, drawing, or playing music, they're essentially giving their right brain a workout.
Okay, so it's not just about creating pretty pictures or catchy tunes.
Not at all. Engaging in these activities helps children develop critical thinking skills, learn to approach problems from different angles, and tap into their imaginations.
That's so cool. The source also mentions something about art and dopamine release. Can you talk a little more about that?
Sure, you know that feeling of satisfaction you get after finishing a creative project?
Yeah, totally.
Well, that's dopamine at work. It's a neurotransmitter that plays a key role in motivation and reward,
Hmm.
and it's released when we engage in activities we find pleasurable. So when kids are creating art, they're not only exercising their brains, but also getting a nice little dopamine boost, which reinforces that sense of accomplishment and makes them want to keep creating.
It's like a built-in reward system for being creative. Speaking of feeling good, our next method is all about finding some inner peace, mindfulness, and meditation practices.
Ah, yes. It might seem a bit unexpected to see meditation on a list about boosting kids' intelligence, but the research is clear. Mindfulness practices can have a profound impact on cognitive abilities.
Really? In what way?
While techniques like guided breathing and meditation help train the brain to focus,
Uh,
improve attention span, and regulate emotions.
so it's like giving kids tools to manage their own internal world.
Exactly. And here's where those hormonal and psychological aspects we talked about earlier come into play. Mindfulness practices have been shown to reduce blood pressure and lower levels of cortisol, which, as we mentioned before, is the stress hormone.
Right.
This creates a calmer, more focused internal environment, allowing kids to better absorb and process information.
I've definitely noticed how much easier it is to think clearly when I'm feeling calm and centered.
Absolutely. It's like all the mental clutter disappears, and you
Mhm.
can finally focus on the task at hand.
Exactly.
And by teaching kids mindfulness techniques early on, we're giving them valuable tools to manage stress, improve focus,
Mm.
and enhance their overall well-being, which in turn supports their cognitive development.
I love that. It's amazing how something as simple as paying attention to your breath can have such a powerful impact on the brain.
It really is. And the benefits go beyond just the mental realm, too. Mindfulness practices have also been shown to improve sleep quality, which, as we'll discuss later, is crucial for consolidating memories and allowing the brain to rest and recharge.
Okay, so we've covered physical activity, nutrition, creative expression, and mindfulness. What's next on our list of brain-boosting methods?
This one's a classic,
Yeah.
but it's worth revisiting. Language learning and reading habit.
The power of words. I've always loved reading, and I can definitely see how it's helped shape my own thinking and understanding of the world. But how does the source connect language learning and reading to actual intelligence?
Well, reading and language learning are like boot camp for the brain. They challenge us to decode symbols,
Mhm.
understand complex sentence structures,
Okay.
and build a vast vocabulary.
Right.
All of this activity strengthens neural connections and improves memory, which are essential for learning and cognitive development.
It's not just about memorizing definitions, though, right? It's about developing a deeper understanding of how language works and how to use it effectively.
Exactly. And beyond the cognitive benefits,
Mm.
language learning and reading also foster empathy and help us understand different perspectives.
I like
When
that.
kids read stories about people from different cultures or backgrounds, they start to see the world through different lenses, which broadens their understanding and helps them develop into more well-rounded individuals.
I love that. It's like opening up a whole new world of possibilities and understanding. Okay, so we've covered 5 methods so far: physical activity, balanced nutrition, creative expression, mindfulness, and language learning. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll dive into the next 5, including one that I'm particularly excited about: puzzle solving and strategy games. Stay tuned.
Hmm.
Welcome back, everyone. Ready to dive into those next 5 methods for helping kids' minds thrive?
You bet. And I think you're going to love this next one. It's all about puzzle solving and strategy games.
Oh, I was wondering when we'd get to this one. I am a total puzzle geek. Sudoku, crosswords, those logic puzzles. I can't get enough of them. But I never really thought of them as actual brain boosters.
Oh, they totally are. These games are like a mental workout for kids. They challenge them to think critically, analyze patterns, and come up with creative solutions.
Like a gym for their brains.
Exactly. Just like physical exercise strengthens muscles, these mental workouts help strengthen neural connections,
Makes sense.
and that leads to improved memory, focus, and problem-solving skills.
The best part is that kids usually love playing these games.
Oh, for sure. They don't even realize they're learning while having so much fun.
That's the key, right? When learning feels like play.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got puzzles and strategy games checked off our list. What's next?
This one might surprise you. It's musical training.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really? Music can make you smarter. I mean, I love listening to music. And I get how playing an instrument could improve things like coordination and discipline. But does it actually boost brain power?
It really does. Learning to play a musical instrument is like a full brain workout. It engages multiple areas of the brain, including those responsible for memory,
Oh.
language processing, and even mathematical reasoning.
No way. So it's more than just creating beautiful music.
Right. It's about building those neural pathways and
Mm.
enhancing all sorts of cognitive function.
I'm starting to regret quitting those piano lessons when I was a kid.
Never too late to start.
Yeah.
But speaking of kids, the text also talks about some hormonal benefits of playing music.
Like what?
Well, playing an instrument can increase endorphin and dopamine levels. And that, of course, leads to improved mood and motivation.
That makes sense. Music just has such a powerful effect on our emotions, Like a catchy tune can instantly lift your spirits, or a soothing melody can calm you right down.
Exactly. And when kids are feeling happy and motivated, they're obviously more receptive to learning, more likely to stick with those tough tasks.
Okay, so we've covered physical exercise, balanced nutrition, creative expression, mindfulness, language learning, puzzle solving, and now musical training. That's 7 methods down, 3 to go.
We're on a roll.
What's next on our list of brain boosting strategies?
This one is super important. We've touched on it briefly before,
Yeah.
but it's worth emphasizing again. Quality sleep.
Ah, sleep, the holy grail of a well-functioning brain, right? I know I'm definitely not my best when I'm sleep deprived, but how does the source connect sleep to intelligence in kids?
Well, sleep is like the ultimate reset button for the brain.
Hmm.
While we sleep, our brains are busy consolidating memories, clearing out toxins, and preparing us for the day ahead.
So it's not just about feeling rested.
Right.
It's about giving the brain the downtime it needs to process all the information it's taken in during the day.
Exactly. Without enough quality sleep,
Mm.
all that learning and brain-boosting activity we've been talking about won't be as effective.
The source mentioned that our bodies release growth hormone during sleep, which is crucial for both physical and cognitive development.
That's right. Growth hormone is key for building and repairing tissues, including brain cells.
Mm.
Just as importantly, cortisol levels, those stress hormones we talked about,
Mm.
they drop during sleep, allowing the body and mind to fully rest and recover.
So simple, yet so crucial. It's amazing to think that something as simple as getting enough sleep can have such a huge impact on a child's cognitive development.
It really is one of the most fundamental, yet often overlooked aspects of supporting children's learning and well-being.
Mm.
Okay, ready for method number 9?
Yeah, be with it.
This one focuses on the power of connection and collaboration, social interaction, and team activities.
Now, this is something I'm passionate about. I've always believed that learning should be a social experience. There's so much we can learn from interacting with others, sharing ideas, and working together towards common goals.
I completely agree. The source highlights just how important social interaction is for developing a wide range of cognitive skills.
Give me some examples.
Well, things like communication and cooperation, also empathy and conflict resolution. When children engage in team activities, they learn to negotiate, to compromise, to think from different perspectives.
It's like a microcosm of the real world, right? We're always
Right.
interacting with others, then navigating different personalities, working together to solve problems.
And by providing opportunities for social interaction and teamwork, we're giving kids those valuable tools to navigate the complexities of the world around them.
The source also mentioned something about social interaction and the release of oxytocin.
Oh, yes. Oxytocin is often called the bonding hormone. It's released when we feel connected to others,
Okay.
and it plays a role in fostering trust, empathy, and cooperation.
Interesting.
So when kids are engaged in positive social interactions, they're not only developing those important cognitive skills,
Yeah.
but also experiencing the feel-good hormonal benefits that come with feeling connected and supported.
I love that. Building brain power and strengthening social bonds at the same time.
Exactly.
Okay, we've covered 9 brain-boosting methods. What's our final one?
This one might seem a bit different from the others, but it's incredibly important. Nature exposure and outdoor activities.
Nature. I've always loved spending time outdoors. I know it makes me feel more relaxed and refreshed, but how is nature connected to intelligence?
Well, there's more and more research coming out showing that spending time in nature has a big impact on cognitive function.
Really?
Exposure to natural sunlight helps our bodies produce vitamin D, which is essential for brain health.
Oh, right.
And being in nature has also been shown to reduce cortisol levels and boost serotonin, promoting feelings of calm and well-being.
So it's like a natural stress reliever.
Exactly. And when stress levels are down, children are better able to focus, learn, and retain information.
I'm starting to think we should all be getting more nature time.
I completely agree. It's a simple yet powerful way to support cognitive development, reduce stress, and foster a sense of wonder, connection with the natural world.
We've covered so much in this deep dive, from physical activity and musical training to just spending time in nature. It's amazing to see how many different ways we can nurture young minds and help them reach their full potential.
It is truly inspiring, and the best part is, many of these methods are simple and accessible, and they can be easily incorporated into a child's daily life.
That's what I love about this deep dive. It's packed with practical, actionable advice that parents, educators, and anyone who cares about children can use.
Absolutely. And remember, it's not about being perfect or trying to do everything at once. Even small changes can make a real difference.
So true.
The key is to be observant, curious, and responsive to a child's individual needs and interests. What sparks their curiosity? What activities bring them joy? Those are the clues that can guide you in creating an environment where their minds can truly flourish.
I love that. It's about nurturing their natural curiosity and providing them with opportunities to explore, experiment, and discover.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that intelligence isn't a fixed trait. It's something that can be developed and nurtured throughout life.
That is such a great reminder.
So whether you're a parent,
Hmm.
an educator, or just someone who cares about kids, you have the power to make a positive impact.
We've covered all 10 methods for boosting kids' intelligence. But before we wrap up, I want to hear your final thoughts. What are some key takeaways you hope our listeners will remember from this deep dive?
It's amazing to me just how interconnected all these methods really are. It's not about just focusing on one or two things. It's about creating this whole environment where kids can just thrive physically, mentally,
You've
emotionally.
got it's like weaving a tapestry. Each thread represents a different aspect of a child's development, and when you weave them all together, you create this beautiful, intricate picture of a thriving young mind.
I love that analogy.
Mhm.
So let's recap those 10 threads, those 10 brain-boosting methods. We started with the foundation. Physical exercise for brain health, emphasizing how movement fuels those brain cells, boosts BDNF, and releases endorphins that help kids
Right,
focus.
and then we moved on to balanced nutrition and hydration,
Mhm.
talking about those brain-building nutrients like omega-3s
Mm.
and how important steady energy levels are for those brains to function at their best. We explored creative play and art therapy, where kids can tap into their creative sides, develop problem-solving skills, and get that boost of dopamine from expressing themselves.
And we talked about the calming and focusing effects of mindfulness and meditation practices, giving kids tools to manage stress, improve attention, and regulate their emotions.
We can't forget about the power of words. With language learning and reading habit, they really expand a child's world, build those neural connections, and foster empathy and understanding.
And then there's puzzle solving and strategy games, those mental workouts that challenge kids to think critically and become better problem solvers.
We even discovered how musical training can boost brain power. It's a full brain workout that enhances coordination, strengthens memory, and just boosts mood.
And of course, quality sleep is crucial. It's when our brains consolidate memories, clear out toxins, release growth hormone, and get ready for a new day.
We also talked about the importance of social interaction and team activities, helping kids learn to communicate, cooperate, empathize.
And last but not least, nature exposure and outdoor activities, highlighting the calming and restorative power of nature.
It's incredible, really. Boosting kids' intelligence is not about some magic formula. It's about creating this rich tapestry of experiences that nurture their minds, bodies, and spirits.
Absolutely. And remembering that intelligence is not fixed. It's something we can develop and nurture.
It's never too late to start creating those brain-boosting opportunities for the kids in our lives.
So to our listeners, we leave you with this. What small change can you make today to help the children in your life thrive?
It's about progress, not perfection. Remember that. Even small steps can make a big difference.
So embrace those everyday moments, like a walk in the park, a family game night, a bedtime story, and watch those young minds blossom.
That's it for our deep dive today. Until next time, keep those minds curious, those hearts open, and remember that learning is a lifelong adventure.